Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH the Flame Emperor episode number 47 based on novel. So let's start. Yuquan, you still want to commit the following crimes. The twin ghost emperors also said weakly and angrily. Normally, this secluded spring ghost is not as good as a dog in front of him. Although he is only half of the strength of the twins, he is also a powerhouse comparable to the human 6-star fighting emperor. When the two parts are truly integrated, then the strength is also extremely tyrannical, and this secluded spring ghost is just a clown jumping on the beam. But it's different now. The twin ghost emperors just broke through the seal, and their strength is less than 1 in 10. Moreover, the twin ghost emperors were divided into two by the powerhouses within Xian Santian and sealed in the Red Mountain and the Yin Corpse Forest. The combination of the two parts is the real twin ghost emperors. Red leaves. Go. There will be no shortage of those who promised you afterward. Yuquan Ghost also looked at the twin ghost emperors and ghosts in front of him with resentment. I'll hold the ghost for you, and you can do the rest yourself. Hongye is not a fool, and naturally knows the wishful thinking of the ghost in the spring. The ghost in the quiet spring wants to deal with the twin ghost emperors, but he dealt with the ghosts and spirits by himself, leaving the difficult to himself and the easy to him. After Hongye finished speaking, she also rushed forward first, and then the terrifying 6-star Do Emperor's aura was also on full display. Damn. Yuquan, you will regret your decision. The ghost has not finished speaking, but is constantly dealing with the attack of the red leaves. After all, the power of the 6-star duty powerhouse, the ghost does not dare to distinguish heart, or you will end up with a sad end. Okay. Yuquan also scolded secretly. This woman is really not a fuel-efficient lamp, although her battle with the ghost seems to be suppressed everywhere, but Yuquan also clearly feels that Hongye has kept his hand, otherwise when a 6-star Do Emperor powerhouse deals with a ghostly ghost at the peak of a 4-star Do Emperor, that is also an instant suppression. But Yuquan was too late to be distracted at this time. After all, he had planned this plan for a long time. Yuquan Ghost Spirit found a way in some ancient books of Xian Santian. People in the ghost world can continuously strengthen themselves by devouring their own kind. If Yuquan can devour a part of this wounded twin ghost emperor, then the strength is undoubtedly. It will skyrocket, and it will be easy to deal with the other half of the twin ghost emperors. Suffer to death. After Yuquan finished speaking, a strange black ghostly energy instantly covered his body, and then a rather dark chain flew out of his body. With a monstrous black color, he attacked the injured twin ghost emperors. Soul chain. The twin ghost emperors were also quite surprised. The so-called soul chain is a unique method in their ghost world, and it is only possible to display it when the ghost energy in the body is strong to a certain extent. Because the source of the power of the soul chain is ghost energy, after being surprised for a short time, the twin ghost emperors also slowly became serious, and his strength was at the level of 6th grade ghost emperors, 1st grade ghost emperors equals 1-star fighting emperors, and so on. But now because he just broke through the seal, the strength has not returned to the peak, and then it was attacked by Wu Jiang and Hu Du, so the current strength is also less than 1. But at this time, the strength of the twin ghost emperors is also comparable to that of Yuquan, but the ghost energy in the body is sluggish, not as strong as the ghosts of Yuquan. Seeing the black chain with terrifying energy attacking him, the twin ghost emperors also snorted coldly, and then a chain thicker than the ghost of the secluded spring appeared instantly, and then the two slammed together viciously. Although the soul-locking chain displayed by Yuquan Ghost Spirit is relatively small, it is better than the constant supply of ghost energy in the body, so the stamina is also extremely large, but on the other hand, the soul-chaining chain displayed by the twin ghost emperor is quite thick. But the injury is serious, and it also appears to be slightly lacking in stamina, and it also slowly presents a one-sided phenomenon. The next moment, the soul-locking chain that spread out from the twin ghost emperor's body instantly shattered, and then Yuquan also had a strange smile soaring to the sky, and controlled the soul-locking chain to hit the twin ghost emperor's body with one blow. Seeing that the soul-locking chain that he casts has locked the twin ghost emperors abruptly, the ghosts of the secluded springs are even more bizarre. Then Yochuan's rather illusory hands also instantly pulled the soul-chaining chain, and pulled back viciously, and a strange scene appear. As Yochuan's soul chain locked the body of the twin ghost emperors, Yuquan was pulling tightly, and the black cloak covering the body of the twin ghost emperors collapsed instantly, revealing a rather terrifying picture. Face. This. Hongye also deliberately kept his hand, so he kept dealing with the ghost spirit. As long as he held the ghost, there was no need to kill it. But as the twin ghost emperors revealed their true colors, Hongyabei's lips also slightly opened, looking extremely surprised. The twin ghost emperor's entire body, the left and right sides are particularly obvious. One side has color and skin, while the other side is blank, like a blank sheet of paper that makes people shudder. Wait, this breath. How can the aura of these twin ghost emperors be similar to those of the Soul clan? My illusion. Hongye also muttered to himself, because with Hongye's powerful strength, he also felt some familiar taste in the twin ghost emperors. Susu. Have you shown your true colors now? Yuquan Ghost also stared at the twin ghost emperors with thick greed in his eyes, and a lot of saliva overflowed from his mouth, which looked rather indecent. I didn't expect you to do so many good things, Yuquan, during the time when I was sealed. The twin ghost emperors coughed more violently. Obviously, the ghost chain of the ghosts of Yuquan directly penetrated his body connection. Because of his own soul, he is also weaker. Isn't the taste of this soul chain unpleasant? Xiaoyan Yuquan also looked very strange, and then stared at the weak twin ghost emperor in front of him. You. Who are you? Cough, cough, cough. The twin ghost emperors were calm a moment ago, but when Yuquan called out the evil yin, his breath suddenly became turbulent, his pupils were wide open, and the ghost of the quiet spring in front of him was stinging, obviously unbelievable. Ordinary people know that the twin ghost emperors are one twin, which is composed of two parts. The strength of the peak has reached the level of the 7th grade ghost emperor, and it is famous for its fierceness. But there are very few people who know the true identity of the twin ghost emperors, not to mention those who still know his name, and there are not many people in the entire ghost world. Say, who are you? The twin ghost emperors also roared, because he felt a familiar smell from the soul lock chain, but he didn't know who the secluded spring in front of him was. Ha ha ha. Xie Yin, you are really forgetful. 100 years ago, Daoxiang village, do you still remember? The moment Yuquan spoke, his eyes turned red, and the terrifying killing intent was instantly released, his teeth were clenched tightly, and the creaking voice seemed to be able to eat the twin ghost emperor's raw genera. Daoxiang village? How is that possible? The twin ghost emperors also looked at the ghostly ghost in front of him in fear as if he had remembered something. The three of Xiao Yang were walking, and Xiao Yang suddenly sneezed for no apparent reason. It's really weird. After speaking, Xiao Yang also touched his nose. Logically speaking, he shouldn't catch a cold. He has a terrifying flame in his body, and he is the least likely to catch a cold. Xiao Yang, are you alright? Be careful of catching a cold. After Yueru finished speaking, she also took out a piece of clothing from the ring, and then gently raised her jade hand and slowly put it on Xiao Yang. Again. Mu Feng, who was beside him, smacked his lips involuntarily, obviously quite helpless. The three of them were speechless and continued to walk until they came to the depths of the 3rd floor in a blink of an eye. Since Xiao Yang and the three of them crossed the cave on the 3rd floor and encountered the mysterious barrier, Xiao Yang has become much more careful, and Xiao Yang's soul force has been looking around all the time. Discover and defend accordingly. However, Xiao Yang's soul force suddenly revolved involuntarily on the land here, as if there was some special energy here, which caught Xiao Yang's attention. It stands to reason that this state should not occur, because Xiao Yang is a high-level pharmacist, so his control of soul power is quite delicate, and the huge soul power has always been controlled by Xiao Yang's powerful control power. So when this happened, Xiao Yang had to be vigilant. Although Xiao Yang didn't show any signs on the surface, he was secretly amazed, and secretly released even more powerful soul power, carefully examining the surrounding movement. I don't know if I don't check it, I'm startled when I check it. The place where Xiao Yang and the others are now has a very strong ghost energy and some very obscure auras, which is obviously the strongest in the 3rd layer of the corpse forest. Longyi, where is this? Xiao Yang also walked slowly, the speed slowed down, and then gently communicated with the eternal fire eternal ancient ruler on his back. Huh! Seeing this, Yueru and Mu Feng also slowed down. They just wanted to ask Xiao Yang if he had reached his destination, but they found that Xiao Yang was looking for something, so they didn't say anything. Here. It seems to be the location of the dry well. Longyi also whispered. Didn't you say you know? Xiao Yang was also helpless, so it was possible that Longyi was fooling him. I know this place, but I can't get out of the secret realm, and the two are far apart, so I can only vaguely feel the location of this dry well. As for the specific location, however, the level of ghost chi here is extremely rare in the 3rd floor of the infernal corpse forest, so it should be here. Longyi hurriedly explained for fear of Xiao Yang's misunderstanding. Go back, you. Xiao Yang was also helplessly preparing to obstruct Ihua Henguchi's communication. Wait, Xiao Yang, Long Yi suddenly said in a deep voice, a completely different voice than usual. Huh. Hearing that, Xiao Yang was also paying attention. Although I didn't feel the location of the dry well, I felt the breath of the heavenly fire sacred tiger. The heavenly fire sacred tiger seems to be here. And there is a very strong aura around him. Long Yi also said solemnly. Why did the heavenly fire sacred tiger come to the 3rd floor of the infernal corpse forest? And the rather not weak aura around the heavenly fire holy tiger. Xiao Yang also muttered to himself. Could it be that Hu Shenghu also knew about the treasure in the infernal corpse forest that day? Xiao Yang also muttered to himself. You should know, after all, the heavenly fire sacred tiger also lives in this infernal corpse forest, and is the overlord of a certain territory on the 2nd floor, so. Long Yi also said. Damn, if they were the first to get in. Xiao Yang's pupils shrank tightly, and then a faint murderous intent appeared. Hey, Xiao Yang, don't worry, although some overlords of the Yin Corpse Forest know about the dry well on the 3rd floor of the Yin Corpse Forest, they can't break the ban, so they have no chance to touch the so-called treasure. Long Yi is also confident. Is that so? Xiao Yang also suddenly thought of something. Yeah, it would be easy to seal the forbidden enterprise of the twin ghost emperors. Long Yi also said. But you can rest assured that Fire Sacred Tiger's strength should be at the level of the early stage of the 5-star Do Emperor. As for the strength of the breath around him, it should be weaker than him. Long Yi also opened his mouth. Who is more powerful between you and the heavenly Fire Sacred Tiger? Xiao Yang also laughed suddenly, and then gently stroked the ancient ruler of eternal fire behind him. Nonsense. Of course the labor force is great. How can I say that it took me 3 fighting immortals to join forces to seal me? How can I be confused with this heavenly fire sacred tiger? Long Yi also said arrogantly. Although I've been sealed for so long and my strength has dropped significantly, I still don't care about the heavenly fire sacred tiger. Hey, Xiao Yang, you can also release me when you are fighting to help you defend against a powerhouse who is at the peak of the 5-star Do Emperor. Long Yi also smiled, but his smile was filled with extreme respect for his own strength. Confidence. With the body of a fire dragon and a flame as powerful as a different fire, Long Yi's strength is not weak. Hey, it's exactly what I want. Xiao Yang also laughed. He just subdued Long Yi and didn't dare to let him go out to fight alone. After all, he had worries about the future. Because he had just subdued Long Yi couldn't help but feel dissatisfied, so if he let him go out to fight at that time, it would be a small thing if he was accidentally attacked, but if he escaped, it would be a big deal. However, this kind of thing will not happen now because the fire of Long Yi's source has been absorbed and swallowed by Xiao Yang, and the power of the source has been damaged, so he can only inhabit the ancient ruler of this strange fire. He continued to absorb the power of flames to supplement himself, but Long Yi also found that the flames on Xiao Yang's body were of great help to his cultivation. The presenter said that Xiao Yang still has the king of the dragon clan on his body, and the king of the golden dragon is attached to him. Long Yi is also relieved at this time and is ready to follow Xiao Yang. When the king of the golden dragon returns to the dragon clan in the future, he will also be able to win a lot of benefits. This is the reason why Long Yi really does not reject Xiao Yang, so this Long Yi also began to help Xiao Yang. After all, Xiao Yang is too weak now. As for the return of the Golden Dragon King to the Dragon Clan, there should be a lot of time, but Long Yi is not in a hurry. What their dragons have is a long life. As for the aura next to the Fire Sacred Tiger that day, it should be the first place in this point-grabbing competition, Mu Yingying. Xiao Yang also murmured. Apparently, he felt the same hot fluctuation from that breath. Is the 4-star Do Emperor peak? Xiao Yang also muttered to himself. Obviously, this Mu Yingying can stand out among these tens of thousands of people and get the first place. Obviously it will not be so simple. However, Xiao Yang also raised his arrogant head. Only under pressure can he be motivated, so he couldn't help showing a confident smile. Let's go, it's not far from the destination. After saying that, he went to the place he sensed before the 3 walked slowly. Xiao Yang also directed the huge soul power in his body towards the abnormal place that had just appeared, trying to find out the reason. Soon, a rough pattern appeared clearly in Xiao Yang's mind as his soul power was withdrawn. The information probed from the soul force, that is in the center of a dense forest not far away, through the forest, a bare piece of land, and an abrupt thing is also standing here. It seems that there is a dry well. At this time, Xiao Yang was overjoyed. This dry well was the place Xiao Ye said before, and it was also the place where Long Yi said that the greatest treasure in the corpse forest existed. After discovering the location of the dry well, Xiao Yang also sped up his steps and walked straight into the woods, heading towards the land where the dry well was located. Yueru and Mu Feng also followed closely. After a while, the three walked through the woods and came to the bare land, and the dry well also appeared in front of the three of them. This well is the destination of our trip. Xiao Yang also saw the dry well in front of him. Be careful. Just as Mu Feng was about to go out, Xiao Yang grabbed him. Yeah. Mu Feng also moved forward slowly, obviously rather cautious. It's here. There was also an extremely excited aura above the ancient ruler of Ihua Eternal. This dry well. The three slowly came to the dry well and found that there was no problem, and immediately looked up and down the dry well. There are dozens of feet of flat lying next to the dry well. Only the dry well stands out a little bit, which is quite strange. The wellhead of the dry well is slightly round, and the size should be large enough to accommodate a person, but the surrounding of the dry well has been damaged a lot. Obviously it has gone through a lot of years. Looking down from the wellhead, you can't see the bottom of the well, but what you can see is that there is no well water in this dry well, just like a dry well that has been abandoned. The well is very deep, although it is impossible to see to the end, but with Xiao Yang's huge soul perception, he can clearly feel some extremely obscure auras in this well. It seems that there are some powerful creatures hidden in the well, which is a little bit in Xiao Yang's mind. Unclear. Xiao Yang stopped suddenly and said to the two companions, "You guys carefully investigate this well. Do you feel that there is anything strange here?" Mu Feng frowned slightly and said, "Xiao Yang, you are right, but I am the most sensitive to ghosts. It seems that there are some secrets in this well. However, the only difference I feel is that there is a huge ghost in this dry well. Such a huge ghost seems to indicate that there is a very terrifying existence in this well. As for the deeper part of the well, it seems to be isolated by some mysterious power." Well, I didn't detect it either. Yueru heard the words, did not speak, just squatted down slightly and looked at somewhere at the mouth of the well. What do you think this is? At the next moment, Yueru also discovered a new continent, and her jade hand gently pointed to the small words at the mouth of the dry well. Suppressing ghost well? Xiao Yang and Mu Feng also turned their heads, looked at the small characters Yueru was referring to, found these three words, and called out. Could this well be the ghost town well? Mu Feng was also slightly surprised. Oh, what is ghost town well? Xiao Yang heard Mu Feng's words and heard some clues from it. It seemed that Mu Feng knew a lot. You don't know about this. The so-called ghost town is a superb method of sealing ghosts, but the ghosts sealed in every ghost town are extremely vicious ghosts. Ghost creatures in the ghost world are cunning by nature, and their aura is quite yin, strange and cold, and although I don't know what the flame on your body is, Xiao Yang, it is very powerful, so it is the nemesis of such ghosts. As for the ghost well, I heard my master say that the ghost well is used to seal ghosts. The ghosts in the ghost world are divided into 3 major ghosts from the strongest to the weakest, the 4 major ghosts, and the 9 ghost emperors. As for the ghosts below, they are the subordinates of the ghost emperors, and the number of ghosts is also hundreds of them. Every ghost town is sealed with ghosts at least at the level of ghost emperors. Ghosts at the level of ghost emperors are far more powerful than us humans, and after all, this place is still in the corpse forest, and the boosting power of ghosts is not small, so we have to be extra careful. Mu Feng also said. The 3 great ghosts, the 4 great ghosts, the 9 great ghosts. Xiao Yang also muttered to himself. This kid is right, the powerhouses in the ghost world are divided into 3 major ghost gods, 4 ghost gods, and 9 ghost emperors, but the 3 ghost gods are the most powerful people in the ghost world, and so are the ghost gods. A powerhouse that is comparable to the level of human fighting immortals. As for the ghost emperor, the strongest person has the strength comparable to the peak of your human fighting emperor, and the weakest. Anyway, the weakest one is stronger than you. Long Yi also thought about it. Xiao Yang was also full of black lines at this time. When I was sealed in the secret realm 1,000 years ago, this ghost town has not yet appeared. After I was sealed, this town ghost well was displayed by a certain power within Shen Santian, but according to the situation of the seal at that time. Look, although the ghost emperor sealed here is also a ghost emperor, but at the time of the seal, I clearly felt that the ghost emperor was incomplete and seemed to be missing half of it. Long Yi also recalled hard. Oh. Xiao Yang was also curious at this time. Xiao Yang could feel that there was an extremely terrifying existence in the cold pool when he participated in the test in Hongshan at that time, but compared to the ghost Qi in the ghost town in front of him, it was undoubtedly insignificant. The ghost in Hankai at that time seemed to be called the Twin Ghost Emperor. Xiao Yang also frowned. Twin Ghost Emperor. Yeah, why didn't I remember that when I was sealed, my strength was reduced to only half, then it could only be a twin ghost emperor. Long Yi also exclaimed. Could it be that the seals in this ghost town are really twin ghost emperors? Xiao Yang also muttered to himself, then looked at the well. If it is said that the twin ghost emperors are really twins, then it is very likely that they were sealed separately, part of which was sealed in the cold pool of Hongshan, and part of it was sealed in the dry well on the 3rd floor of the corpse forest. It's just that half of the twin ghost emperors in the Red Mountain cold pond are obviously the weaker half. As for the 3rd layer of the Yin corpse forest, the seal should be the most tyrannical half. It should be, but I have been sealed for too long, and I don't know much about the outside world. The information about the twin ghost emperors is also. Long Yi also shook his head, obviously unable to help Xiao Yang. Twin ghost emperors. I really miss it. A familiar aura suddenly came from Xiao Yang's ring. Master, are you awake? Xiao Yang felt this breath and was quite excited, because the source of this breath was the Emperor Yang ring in his hand. Master, are you feeling better? Hehe, Xiao Yanzi, you are really clever, but guess what you entrusted to enter that secret realm, and what dragon energy you absorbed also made me recover a lot of strength. Can you reach that level? Xiao Yang asked curiously. Under the battle of immortals, it's not a problem. An unruly aura also emanated from the ring. At this time, Long Yi in the ancient ruler of Yihuaheng also felt the momentum of the king of the dragon family, but it just disappeared in a flash. That's what the king of the dragon clan should have. Long Yi also muttered to himself, obviously this fleeting breath was also discovered by Long Yi. Although my strength has recovered a lot, but after all, it is the body of the soul, so many things still have to be done by you. The most important point is that your body can't support my huge power attachment, but don't worry, when you go out from here, I will teach you a method of body refining that is unique to our dragon clan, and then, hee. The Golden Dragon King also laughed maliciously. Although I don't know why, Xiao Yang actually has a feeling of being calculated, but he is looking forward to it. After all, the most powerful thing in the dragon family is the power of the flesh. What's more, his master, the Golden Dragon King, is known for his physical strength, and he is quite looking forward to this body refining technique. Okay, let's not talk about this for now. Why did you come to the 3rd floor of the infernal corpse forest? It's very dangerous here. The Golden Dragon King also said in a deep voice. This way. Xiao Yang briefly explained some of the things that happened before. Haha, is it a ghost well? It's really been a long time since I saw it. Speaking of which, the twin ghost emperors and I have known each other for a long time. I never expected to see him here again today. The Golden Dragon King also slowly stared at the ghost town in front of him. Master. Xiao Yang also called out softly in his heart. I'm fine, I just remembered something unpleasant. The Golden Dragon King also said sadly. The twin ghost emperors are actually divided into 2 people. Only when the 2 are combined can they be called the real twin ghost emperors. The one that was not sealed in Hongshan Hankai before should be Xie Yin. As for the ghost town in front of me, it is Yin evil. The Golden Dragon King also murmured. Yin evil, evil Yin. Xiao Yang also said slowly. That's right, if we talk about it separately, the strength of the 2 is the weak evil that was sealed in the Red Mountain cold pond, and they are only a 6th grade ghost emperor. As for the evil that was sealed in the ghost town, it is a powerhouse comparable to a 7th rank ghost emperor. The Golden Dragon King also muttered, with some seriousness in his words. 6th rank ghost emperor, 7th rank ghost emperor. Xiao Yang also quickly calculated in his heart. The rank of this ghost emperor is the same as that of their fighting emperor. The strength of a 6th grade ghost emperor is similar to that of a human powerhouse of a 6-star fighting emperor. As for the 7th grade, the ghost emperor sealed in this ghost well is actually so strong. Xiao Yang was also slightly vigilant. Obviously, none of the twin ghost emperors could resist him now. And the most terrifying thing about these twin ghost emperors is that they can be merged into a whole. At that time, their strength will also be improved. The Golden Dragon King also said. Fusion. Xiao Yang was also slightly surprised. If the 2 parts of the twin ghost emperors sealed by this seal were fused together, then their strength. Xiao Yang couldn't even imagine it. According to Xiao Yang's current strength, although he is only in the early stage of the 4-star Do Emperor, he is not too stubborn to fight against the late 4-star Do Emperor, but as for the 5-star Do Emperor, or the more powerful 6-star Do Emperor. Hehe, you don't have to worry, I can vaguely feel that there is a rather powerful presence in this corpse forest that is also guarding this ghost town. Once there is a change in this town ghost well, Obviously that person it won't sit still. Moreover, the person in charge of Xian Santian who is in charge of this point-grabbing competition also has a strong strength. The Golden Dragon King also laughed. I don't know why, after hearing the words of his master, the Golden Dragon King, Xiao Yang's first thought was Xiao Ye. Even with Xiao Yang's strength and soul power, he couldn't see through, but that Xiao Ye could easily see through yourself. This is really... Let's go down and have a look first. In addition to the breath of the other half of the twin ghost emperors, I seem to feel a rather familiar breath in this ghost town. It is obviously the treasure in your mouth. The Golden Dragon King also said. Xiao Yang also walked into the well, ready to go down. When Xiao Yang was talking with the Golden Dragon King, Yueru and Mu Feng were not idle either. Yueru kept checking the surroundings in an attempt to discover some unknown secrets, but after a while there was no university, so she had to give up. As for Mu Feng, he was holding a wooden sword and staring at Zhenguijing as if thinking about something. Mu Feng looked at the well, and after a while his expression changed slightly. There is some ghostly energy in this well, but if you check it carefully, there is nothing. How could this be? My wooden sword, Ziyu, since you came here and won't leave, it means that there must be some secret hidden in this well, but why can't I notice it at all? Xiao Yang, can you detect anything? Xiao Yang glanced at Mu Feng, found that Mu Feng frowned, and then said indifferently, I just found that there are some unusual ghosts in this ghost town, and there seems to be something deep in the well, it's just mine. The probe was isolated by some mysterious power, so that's why I know this. Did Miss Yueru notice anything? Mu Feng also glanced at Yueru in a puzzled way. At this moment, a strange light flashed in Xiao's eyes, but it just disappeared in a flash and they were not discovered by them. Yueru also came to Xiao Yang's side, looked at the ghost, and said softly, I have some strange aura in the vagueness, but unfortunately it's gone in a flash, it's hard to find out. Since what Xiao Yang needs is below, let's go down and have a look. It's not too late to leave if something is wrong. What do you think, Mu Feng? After speaking, he looked at Mu Feng with a smile. What else can I do? I already said that I would give up my life to accompany the gentleman, so how can I break my promise? Mu Feng also acted as if it didn't matter. It is quite difficult to enter the top 100, not to mention that the current ranking is even higher. Although there is some element of luck, it is undeniable that luck is also a part of strength. Xiao Yang, what do you need here? Mu Feng also asked curiously. It's just medicinal herbs, but something seems to be calling me in this ghost town. Xiao Yang also said these excuses are naturally made up by Xiao Yang. When Mu Feng heard this, he didn't ask any more questions, and looked at the well head. Seeing this, Xiao Yang did not ask any further questions, and said softly, this well is not big, I'm afraid we won't be able to go down together. I think I'll go down first and have a look. Mu Feng and Yueru, the two of you are here for the time being. Pay attention to the movement around you. If something happens, send a whistle, and I will come up immediately. Mu Feng is also puzzled. Xiao Yang, wait, how can you let you go in this kind of thing? I am the only one of the three of us who is good at this kind of thing. I should go. You just stay here and talk to Miss Yueru. After saying that, he smiled and turned around to push Xiao Yang away. Xiao Yang grabbed him and said with a smile, next time I'll play a striker for you. This time, after all, you'll accompany me to find medicinal herbs, and I also feel that something in this ghost town is calling me, but you don't feel it. If you arrive, it would be a waste of time to go down. After speaking, before Mu Feng could speak, Xiao Yang's body floated into the ghost-suppressing well. Seeing Xiao Yang go down after he finished speaking, Mu Feng said angrily, really, why are you taking my job? In this way, you will be able to do everything in the future, so how can I be a fool? Next time, I must not talk to him more, just do it and talk. Yueru also had the same expression and was worried about Xiao Yang, so the two of them didn't speak, and looked at Zhenguijing in silence. This video will end here.